So you've probably heard of the meat-only diet that everybody seems to be raving about. But what exactly is the carnivore diet? The carnivore diet involves consuming animal products like eggs, meat, fish, while avoiding nearly all other food, which obviously leads to a high protein, low carb diet. Essentially, your body starts to use the fats instead of the carbohydrates to fuel your body. And as far as what you can actually eat and drink, well, I'll get into that right now. So you obviously got your meats like your beef, your pork, lamb and your organ meat. As well as that, you've got your chicken, turkey, goose and duck, as well as eggs, butter, fish, seasonings like your salt, and any sauces or gravies if they're made with like beef drippings, for example, or mixed with the butter or ghee. And that's pretty much it. Just to sum up what you can't eat, no vegetables, fruits, grains, fiber, sugar, seeds, nuts, barely, if any, carbohydrates, because there's still some in some of the meats. That's why I'm not consuming absolutely zero. As far as what you can drink, water and bone broth, and that's about it. And I get water from a machine in my condo that says it uses the reverse osmosis process, and if true, that's great. That's one of the best ways to get you drinking water. So I just hope it's true. And to go on what you can't drink, that's no coffee, tea, alcohol, energy drinks, smoothies, milkshakes, pretty much any drink with any sugars or even artificial sugars in them. And coffee and tea, I guess you could put an asterisk next to both of them because some people seem to consume them on the carnivore diet, some don't. I guess it depends on the body, but for me and the purposes of these 60 days, no coffee, no tea, no nothing, literally just water. So why would I be doing this experiment? I mean, most people, when I first told them I was doing this diet for 60 days, called me crazy. But I want to see for myself if there's any sort of benefits to this highly restrictive diet. So I'll be tracking the necessary information to document this properly and give you guys either the confidence to try this diet or that last bit of confirmation you need to never attempt this diet. Because the way people talk about this diet after they've tried it, it's almost cult-like. And even from the research that I've done, the books I've read and the websites I've been to, everybody seems to rave about all these potential benefits that they seem to get when they try this diet. I mean, just to give you a few examples. I mean, people say they have better acne, better sleep, more energy, lose body fat, overall weight loss, joint health, better digestion, better athletic performance, skin health, mental health, overall mood, and the list just seems to never end. Unfortunately, the research isn't there for all meat eaters yet, so I think it's time I become a human guinea pig and try this out for myself. Which is exactly what I did. And I'll even put some pictures of the food in the background that I ate during this 60-day experiment. And I will say, even after the first 2 or 3 weeks of starting this experiment, I did notice a few things. I mean, my strength was increasing week by week, even though my overall body weight was still going down. My energy levels were good. I was not tired after eating. I just had to eat enough fats to fuel the body. My skin health was better than ever, but then again, that could be because I've moved to Thailand and I'm in the sun every day and I'm not in cloudy England anymore. The hunger levels were good, I felt full, and when I was hungry, I simply just ate. I didn't have a magic number of calories I needed to reach every day. I went for a much more natural approach and just tried to react on how my body felt. If I was full, I didn't eat. If I was hungry, I ate. Simple as that. And to give you guys the averages for the 60 days, because I tracked everything from day 1 to day 60. Well, I tracked my macros and calories anyway, but yeah, I specifically tracked them for this experiment. And just to give you the averages, on average, I ate 2,000 calories per day, consumed 184 grams of protein, I'd get about 23 grams of carbs, and an average of 110 grams of fat. Now, I will say it took me far too long to realize that you need to eat a lot more fat than you think you do when you're consuming no carbs if you want to have high energy and get everything running at 100%. So although that average is 110, towards the end of the 60 days, I'd say the final few weeks, I was eating more 130, 140 grams at minimum. And time for the results. I mean, even with 2 weeks to go before I finished eating the carnivore diet for 60 days, this was me. Which, if you've seen this picture before, that's probably because you've seen my previous video where I showed my full 12-week body transformation. And well, I did do this carnivore diet in the middle of that, and I still had 2 more weeks to go to complete the 60 days by the time I'd finished that cut. So I even went a bit lighter than how I finished in that video. The starting weight at the start of day 1 was 82 kilograms, and after 60 days of primarily pretty much only eating meat, I was down to 73 kilograms, which is a 9 kilogram weight loss during the meat-only diet. So now I can see why even people that do it for a short amount of time only have good things to say. And if I'm being honest, I've never felt so good myself. I feel fantastic, I've got no brain fog, no tiredness after a big meal, and no sugar crashes. But I will say the body does have to adapt like it would do for any diet when you make a new change or trying something out. So don't expect the benefits to happen overnight. And all I can say is if you're going to try it for at least 45 to 60 days before you say it's for you or not. And if you're going to do it, be strict with it, do it properly. And as for if I've continued the carnivore diet after the 60-day experiment, I'd say I'm carnivore-ish now, because I wanted to confirm after the full 60 days had done for myself to see how my body would react to the carbohydrates, the sugars and everything else that I've been keeping away from it for the past 2 months. I mean, I've essentially done a 60-day cleanse, if you want to think of it like that. And well, as you expect, after not having carbs for pretty much 2 months, the first big meal I had with a lot of carbs in made me feel sleepy and tired, which is something I didn't miss. And as for sugars, I've still only had sugars from fruits. I've not had any processed rubbish yet, as you'd say. So at least that part has been from a natural source, you could say. And after not having sugars for so long, I can see why it is one of the more addictive substances on the planet. Because it just tastes so nice. And now I'll more than likely continue on with this variation of the diet, having a bit of fruits here and there. But next time I want to focus in or increase my athletic performance, for example, then I can definitely see myself going full restrictive, full carnivore diet again sometime in the future. And maybe I'll do it for longer than 60 days to see if there's even more benefits the longer I do the restricted diet for. Who knows? And finally, would I recommend it for everyone? Not exactly, because everybody is different, and it probably takes some time to figure out what your body can handle or what it needs, and how it reacts to different foods. So I guess the only way really is to try it out yourself and see how it gets on with you. And make sure to try it for at least 45 to 60 days. And be patient, because I didn't really see any significant changes until after the first few weeks had gone by, and then everything came at once. So yeah, any more questions about the carnivore diet or my experience with it, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.